I'm sure you guys remember the 1990s animated X-Men television show, right? Of course you do. Other than having one of the best theme songs of all time, it was actually a well-produced cartoon with great storylines, memorable moments and likeable characters. But I'm not here to talk about the show. Instead, let's focus on the arcade game called X-Men: Children of the Atom. Released in the arcades in 1994 and 1995, this game was basically Street Fighter 2, but better. Lots of super moves, many new ways to make combos, and some of the fastest action ever seen back then. If fighting games were your bread and butter, Children of the Atom was the filling in between. Naturally, by this time, most people wanted to play this game at home. The Sega Saturn got a port in 1995 and 1996 for those in the Western world. Acclaim surprisingly handled the port. Normally you associate them with garbage, but maybe they didn't screw it up this time, right? Anyway, I'm playing the PAL version right here. There was also a PS1 and PC port, but sadly both were compromised and I do not recommend either of those. But I suppose now the question we need to ask is, what makes X-Men: Children of the Atom tick? Well, this video should hopefully answer that, so let's get moving. Apparently, the Saturn port was a great conversion despite RAM limitations, resulting in about a third of the animations being left behind. Still, despite this, first impressions are strong here. I love the intro. It shows you what you are up for, plus it looks flashy.
Spiral Buster!
It feels like the arcade version already. Before we jump in, listen to this menu sound as I cycle through the options. I have no idea why they chose that sound effect, but I like it. Oh, and yes, I play the game at Turbo Level 3 because I love playing my games very quickly. Well, anyway, let's see who we can use. There's 10 characters to choose from. Some are X-Men, such as Cyclops and Wolverine, and foes such as Omega Red and Silver Samurai. To be frank, there's a lot I could mention here, but for the sake of time, basically everyone handles differently. Bigger characters hit harder and are less susceptible to weaker moves, but are slower, thus can be juggled by the faster, lighter characters. Whereas the lighter characters are weaker, but they hit faster, thus allowing you to pin your opponent if you know exactly what you're doing. All characters can attack in various ways, including in mid-air, they can juggle combos, also do it in mid-air, oh and not to mention grab, which I love pulling off while airborne. Yes, you can grab while in mid-air, which again, fantastic. The super jump helps you get out of tricky situations, such as for example when I faced Juggernaut. The super jump let me escape his earthquake move. Another neat trick is being able to dash, sprint and attack all at the same time. This saved my neck, especially the low sweeping kicks as I dodged attacks while dishing out my own idea of punishment. Yeah, take that you jerk! Then there's the X moves. Basically, a bar gauge determines your power level. When it's full, you can use your powers, but once it hits level 2, your character will glow, then, using the right combinations of buttons, the X move will occur. If it hits, the damage is devastating. Sadly, I did not know how to pull them off, so when it did happen, for me at least it happened by accident. Yes, I know, I suck at fighting games, forgive me. Lastly, you might notice the fighter's picture in blue there. As you get hit, it will go crazy. Basically, as you take hits, it will change from blue to yellow to red. The colours represent your current condition. If you take damage when it's red, you will go dizzy and be unable to move. You can mash buttons to recover quickly, but usually it's futile most of the time. If you avoid taking damage for a short time, your condition will gradually return to normal. Well, that's the basics covered then. What is the game actually like to play? It's great, honestly. The action never seems to stop and you need to be on your guard. The opponents can cut you down in seconds if you stand still. The amount of times I end up losing by giving even an inch cannot be understated. Look, the difficulty is on 2 stars, normally a breeze in fighting games. Clearly this game didn't follow the script, or maybe it's a bug. Getting my behind kicked on a low difficulty makes me sound like a newbie. It's pretty clear that learning the combos and the strengths of your X-Men is the key, naturally. There is a practice mode, and each time you lose a fight, the continue screen shows a move you can perform or even offer up hints, which is nice. It made me go, oh, I wish I knew that! An easy example was when I learned how to do Psylocke's range attacks at all 3 angles. This helped in fights where my foes were best at up close combat, like Wolverine. I also need to mention the controls. It's pretty much perfect. Using the Sega Saturn controller, the 6 buttons control light, medium and strong punches and kicks. Because the game is based off Street Fighter 2, inputting Street Fighter based moves works the same. Fans of that game should be at home here. Of course, the game adds new features to add more balance and chaos to an already great formula. The last thing to really say is, doesn't this game look stunning? Yes, despite a third of the animation being cut, the Sega Saturn port really represents the arcade original with style and grace. The colours just pop. I mean pop! It's so bright, but in a tasteful way to enhance the experience. The animations are very well done too. The only time I noticed some real cutbacks was when I was fighting the bigger characters. Even then it wasn't to the point where the experience was harmed. The frame rate also stays high and consistent, although I did see some moments of slowdown. Nothing to worry about, but it can happen when special effects really get going.
You lose. Round 2.
I also like the backgrounds too. There's a lot of life to them, and it can be interacted with, as you can see here in these short examples. I'm using my component cables and my trusty ODV Upscaler to get the results you see here. Oh, and of course my Elgato HD60 S Plus to capture the footage. I will say that despite my best attempts, I couldn't beat Juggernaut. This sodding bastard seems unaffected by most attacks, he spams this earthquake move at every opportunity, and even when you are down and out, he still finds the need to kick you. That wasn't very nice, asshole. The bottom line, this is a wonderful game and I cannot stress enough how good this is to play. There's a lot more to the game too, like how the X-Men voice actors from the 90s animated show actually return to voice their respective characters. It's great seeing this level of detail and care being put into a licensed property. Anyway, this game is highly recommended by me, I love it. By the way, this game was the start of the Marvel vs Capcom series. The series would truly start with X-Men vs Street Fighter, but the groundwork for the series started here. Alright folks, thank you for watching this video. Please let me know what you think of this game, and until my next video, I will see you all soon.
Yeah.